Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Horror Ram. I'm Travis Bruce, and today we're doing another indie horror spotlight. Listen, we got some returning guests with us. Some of my favorite guests. Listen, first, let's shoot over to the director. He's been on the show quite a few times. Good friend of mine. He's a director of a new movie that has Indiegogo out right now for it. So definitely support it. The link is down in the description. So definitely support. And it's called ENDOWMENT. I have with us Brian. Brian Yu. I mess up your name every time, man. I was going to try it this time, man. I was going to try it.
That's all good.
Brian. Brian, welcome back to the Horror Room, man.
Thank you for having me, Travis. Happy to be here.
And our other guest, he was on the show. He was actually in Brian's other movie, which is called Peekaboo, and he is one of the stars in Endowment. I have with us Bobby Cullen. Bobby, welcome back to the Horror Room.
Hey, thanks, Travis, for having me. Good to see you.
It's a pleasure. You too, my friend. So, Brian, I'm going to start off with you, man. Listen, tell us a little bit about Endowment.
All right. Endowment is a psychological thriller, and it delves into, the dark secrets of this family. This Delaney family is their last name. And it follows, Bobby, he's the lead actor, and his name's Ethan. So it follows him, and he returns to his family's home after not being there for a while after his dad passed away, So he goes there and he starts uncovering a chilling, very, very chilling, legacy. And it's basically about family trauma and how the past has a way to catch up to you, and stuff like that. And just think tension, mystery, and twists like that you don't expect. It has a lot of very high thriller amount to it.
Now, Brian, listen, as you know, I love horror films that fuck with your head. I like the visual stuff too. I love the blood and gore guts. So, what gave you some inspiration for this movie?
Let's see. I have to say, this idea came about when I had the idea. It actually came from some of my family. And they're like, man, we never see you, and blah, blah, blah. And they're like, what do you do for a living? Some people really don't know, because sometimes you really don't know people, even if they're your close family. And I was sitting there and I'm like, you know what? That would actually probably make a pretty good movie, these kids don't really know who their father was. And they come to terms and find out there was this crazy thing. I was like, I think this is pretty good. And then I started working the idea, and I started working with Bobby on it. And I was like, hey, dude, I got this idea. And then it just turned into this whole entire film now.
Now, Bobby, what got you excited for this script? When you saw the script, what got you excited? Brian, I got to be a part of this.
Yeah, when I actually read it and outline of everything, it jumped out at me. I felt like it was something different that I've never done and I haven't seen done here in the Midwest. The storyline captivated me, and my character really, I thought, would showcase for me my acting skills, because Ethan is a complex character. He's one way in the certain part of the movie, and then the script he kind of starts evolving into a different character. So that's what got me at first, the whole concept of the son of the dad that he doesn't really know, but he wants to get to know, and just things unravel, and he just goes through this whole journey. So
yeah, there's a whole journey to it.
Yeah.
Now, as an actor, Bobby, what excites you about acting in horror films? Does it give you a little more freedom?
I would say, as an actor, freedom is very key to showcase anything, to actually get the lines off the script and actually act it out without even trying. So I thought the writing was good off the bat. Horror, I feel like this is a thriller, which I think it's exciting. And I think the cast that we have and the way, I just feel like this character, I could play this. It felt like it was written for me, so I would say I believe that Brian's gonna let me play with it. We've been rehearsing already, so yeah, I'm excited.
Yep, Brian. So I have actually a question. I've acted in 2 indie horror films,
Okay.
and one director was like, "No, I want you to say the script the way it is," and one was like, "Hey, have fun with it." What kind of director are you? Do you allow your actors to have free range, or do you want them to follow the script as tight as possible?
Well, for continuity purposes, I'd say, you have to follow the script, because when you do, the certain camera movements and everything else, and if you have that, it has a cadence to it, and then you can just reproduce it easily. But when you let them ad lib, it brings out this authenticity of the person in it too, so it makes the acting so much better. So I'm somewhere like in between the middle. So you have to give them some free range so the actor comes out, into the character and their personality, and then you have to adhere to the script a little bit as well. You can ad lib it, and it's like, hey, maybe we could say it this way, did a little different. You can always change that, because it's just a script. But like, if Bobby has certain ways he can ad lib things, and it makes it that much better. And I'm just like, dude, we'll keep it, roll it. We're keeping it. And that's why I trust the actors, So
I feel like we haven't really ad lib during reads. We've been doing kind of the main cast reads, and the lines are so good. I feel like more of the ad libbing is mannerisms and like the reactions of things, and maybe like a couple of, how I say the certain line. But for the most part, I feel like the writing is solid, where you could stick to the script. But it's the physical ad libbing for me, where like I can improv like the way I react or say the line, the tone of it. So
yeah.
And this is an interesting story for that, like you said, Brian. Everybody thinks they know individuals, but there's always key things that I don't say. I don't know if we hide it or what. Because I remember, like, several years ago when my mom died and cleaning her house, I found some shit that I was like, oh my goodness, I did not know my mom was into that. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
And like, so I mean, that's something that definitely originates with everyone, because I feel like as human beings, we do hide certain parts of ourselves from others, even our loved ones or significant others.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you.
And I was going to ask you, Brian, what are you hiding? No, I'm joking. But
actually, I'm hiding a secret to this film, so it's going to be a good one. I swear, I promise. This is something, like Bobby said. This is something that hasn't been made in the Midwest. It has this Hollywood feel to it almost, in how it envelops the characters, and it just brings it all together. Man, there's even parts where I'll give a little bit of this. So after Ethan gets to the house, he starts searching through his dad's stuff, and he ends up finding these VHS tapes. You remember those? Okay, I know you know VHS, but like, they're the mini ones. So he finds like a whole box of them, and he's going through family moments, because they say like Christmas 2002 and things like that. Well, he puts it in and he starts watching, and he's like, oh, wow, bringing back memories. Well, there's a secret to that. I ain't going to give that part, but that's where it gives this VHS retro feel, because it's going to be shot in that way through this almost first-person view, because who his dad is, and you find out what he was up to through these, and they're beats in the film that help progress the film. So I think adding that in there will add that, 1980s, 90s slasher type of feel too, because his dad is like crazy. He's truly trying to dig down to the bottom of this. And then you get back into the reality and you just see Ethan's reactions like, whoa, what did I just witness type of thing. So yeah, I really hope that is what captivates people. Now really bring them into the characters.
Well, you're doing real reactions with me. I'm not gonna see it until we shoot. So he's gonna capture my actual reaction, which
real reactions.
So I have no idea what I'm gonna be looking at. So
no,
yeah,
I know. Yeah, I told everybody that, and they're like, "That's so genius." I was like, "Well, I kind of took that from another film when they dropped into the water, and they're like, ah, and then there's people in there, and one of them old films, and so it has a touch of horror to it because of those films and how it feels. But the overall arching of it is more of a psychological thriller. That's why I said it's in between.
But also, you have to have a certain cast for this type of movie, and I feel like we got lucky. So each cast member fits that character to the T. It's insane how stacked this cast is. So, yeah.
Yeah, it is crazy stacked. You can check out the IMDb. I think I sent you the link for that.
Yes.
And you can check those people out, and you can actually see the work they've done and how good they are. So it's wow. That's all I can say is wow.
You got the actors. So there's 3 leads. Ashton, Dominique, and Alyssa Mullins are really good actresses. So I think they're going to add so much to this film. So, yeah. And the supporting cast is pretty good, too. So
yeah. Bobby's the lead. Ashton, she's like that dark character in there that pulls him into the whole, his whole
seductress. Yeah,
she's the seductress, and Alyssa's his sister is Hannah.
Yeah.
Now, Brian, what is it about? I'm not saying all indie filmmakers, but a lot of them, especially in the horror and the thriller realm, great acting and character development is necessarily not important. Why do you think so many filmmakers feel that way?
Oh, that's a good question. Why do they feel like the character isn't? I think because they're trying to do more. Oh man, you got me stumped on this one. Because I'm not like that. I like having characters have personality, and I like seeing that being unfolded. I think it's because it's the genre, you don't really need to know too much about those characters sometimes. And it's just like, it's the story, Friday the 13th type of thing. And you just, kids in the campground doing stupid stuff and they get killed, because this crazy psycho. So I think that's probably why, because we absorb that, into that realm, and I think it's just like, I think it's like an almost an inherited thing that we watched all these films and like you don't really know much about these characters, so you're just like, oh, okay, yeah, and they just follow those. I don't want to say tropes, but they follow the beats of those type of films. And sometimes when you get out of that, you can actually develop a really good story with really good character development. Those are important, especially for full feature films.
I agree. Because it seems like the older I've gotten, I like the kills and all that good stuff, but I like a good story. I like a good backstory for the villain. I mean, I like to know how this person became the way they are, or what makes them tick. Yeah. I love to, even for the characters, if something bad happens to them, I need to feel something. I need to feel something besides, I need to feel something. It's because I love them, the character, and I feel bad for their fate, or I hate this character, and I'm glad, whoever knocked them off.
Yeah, I think people are really gonna connect to Bobby's character because, you go through
the opener.
Dude did the opener.
Yeah, can we talk about the opening scene?
Yeah, yes, please go ahead, Bobby. You're welcome to.
Well, no, I mean, I'm just saying, I think right off the bat, it's setting a tone. We're at the funeral for my father, and I'm delivering this eulogy, but it's heartfelt, and I feel like right then and there, the audience is already going to be locked in and feel something for this character, and then the sister's there, and then that kind of starts the whole journey of the movie. So I think the opener is very important to set the tone, to draw the audience in, and have that backstory and things like that. So
yeah, it grips you, man. Makes the umbilical cord go right to the screen, and you're in there. You be hooked right in the first 30 seconds.
We did the eulogy yesterday at the table read, and
dude,
yeah, and I thought it went well. So I feel like yeah.
It's you be grabbed instantly, and that's the purpose of it, and it actually means something into the film. So you'd be like, oh wow, and you see his development, and it's so good.
Now, Brian, did you find a funeral home? I know we were talking about this off camera.
Yes, actually, I did. I found a mom and pop one, and I've been in contact with them, and still in negotiations of it, because they're not open every day, and they're open some days, and you got to kind of work that around that schedule, But they were kind of, at first, they're like, "What do you want to do?" I was like, "I'm not here for those services. I'm here for, can I rent this place?" And they're like, rent it? I was like, "Yeah, dude, the stained glass windows will look really sweet with the light coming through. And I think, it has a really good look to this place." And yeah, it was a very interesting, cold opener, "Hey, how you doing? I'm a filmmaker from, the area. Can I use your place?" Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
Now, did you ask them about a casket?
They have them, and I can, but I was thinking about using an urn instead because
okay,
it might be a little bit easier because with his character, I've been shopping the idea that he was Thomas Delaney's his father's name, so Thomas passed away, but since he reclused himself to find to do what he was doing to protect everybody, he really wasn't well known, so he just had himself cremated, and that happens with a lot of people. They don't have a lot of family, they don't have a lot of friends, so they just want it really done quick and easy.
That makes sense. I mean, for somebody who works in the funeral industry, it's usually that way.
Yeah, I wanted to put some realism into it, so people actually are like, "Oh, wow."
You're not gonna do Tales from the Crypt or anything, like a little skeleton? Just to find everybody.
Hey guys! I was thinking about doing that and then having Mark actually in the casket, but I was just like, no, I didn't want to do that because, how you're supposed to say break a leg in theater, because you're not supposed to say Julius Caesar type of stuff, and it brings bad luck. I don't want to put that juju on anybody, so I'll just admit that whole thing because I like Mark. Mark's a good guy. I don't want to put that on him.
So, right now you're in pre-production.
Yep.
Now, have you already gotten the idea for locations?
Yes, I have most of the locations already down. Yes.
And you're just going to stay in the Midwest area?
Yeah, I'm going to stay right in our local area. Yeah. There's a lot of really good places around here, and there's a lot of small, business owners that they open the door for you, and they're okay with it, and they're like, "Yeah, cool," and you're like, "Awesome, sweet. Here's a location release form, please. Here you go. Here's production insurance. Everything will be okay. Nothing will get broken. I promise. I've done this before." And it usually goes pretty smooth.
So that's a great thing. And right now, listen, there's an Indiegogo up, and I hear a train in the background. I didn't know if that was a train in my neighborhood or the train, but I hear a train.
It's not me.
Okay.
There's a train rolling.
So you have an Indiegogo up right now.
Yes, sir.
Tell us about some of the exciting perks that we have up.
Okay. Let's see. I have a list here for it, so I can read it easier. Some of them I have are. Give me 1 second, guys. Bear with me.
It's a long train.
Yeah, I know, dude. These trains are stupid.
It's Brian's house for sure.
Oh yeah, that's definitely mine. Yeah, you can't get around these.
Oh, by the way, Travis, have you noticed? Last time I had a different look for my other movie, but this is my character look for.
Oh, really?
Remember, I had the long blonde hair.
You did.
Yeah, so I thought Ethan was more of a maybe Tom Cruise, like Mission Impossible, clean cut look.
Yes.
So.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go. I got them now. Sorry. Some of them are you get behind the scenes access, so any BTS stuff. I have a place set up for those, and everybody can go there through like an email type thing. You can sign up and you get access to it all. And I have some signed merchandise. Actually, is what I've been thinking about doing. That's one of them, and that's signed posters, and I've been working on those really closely. And there's one where it's actually like an exclusive only, so it'd be like the one in the theater that you can only get, and nobody else will be able to get those. Those will be limited run. There's let's see, a digital copy of the film and names in the credits, things like that. You know, they all start from $10 all the way up to $1,000. That's what the $1,000 ones, like a walk-on roll type of thing.
Sweet. Now, is it tough doing crowdfunding right now?
Man, I'm telling you, I think it's a business of its own for real. Because the round table I was on last time, the one I forgot his name, but the one guy that has like all those films, he's like a master. I don't know how he does it. Like I got to talk to that guy personally about this in the future too, because like you have to have like a platform for it already and have people do it or something. I don't know, but it is quite difficult, but I can see the possibilities of it working out to, you know, help fund things. And you can set it too. That's the thing. Like you can set them to have like certain goals. You can have it up to something, you know, but if you don't get it all, you can set it so you still at least get something. So any bit matters, you know, even $5, it doesn't really matter. It's anything matters helping get it off the ground, because indie film is like creates real stories. And they have real heart behind them. They're really a lot of hard-working people, and they have a lot of passion for it. So that's why it's important. But getting that niche down for it, man, is really hard.
Yeah, because I mean, I can imagine. Like, so I support a lot of crowdfunding. The show does, and by the way, I'll be supporting yours as well, Brian, of course.
Awesome.
Yes, and I wonder, I'm like, well, how the hell? I mean, like Jay Horton, that's the filmmaker who is like the guru when it comes to crowdfunding, and I see the guys who fucking do it, and I'm like, oh my goodness, this is like a full-time job. Like, they make it into like a full-time job where they're constantly posting lives and they're doing little games and stuff. I'm like, this is pretty intense.
Yeah, it really is intense. That's all. Sounds like, wow, this is different, man. Like you can have all the stuff you want for it, but you got to constantly keep putting it out there and get it shared. That's what it really comes down to. Getting eyes on it, getting the right eyes on it for real.
Yes. All right, Poppy. So you talked about a little bit of something. Yes, you do look different since the last time I had you on. Now, is that something you do as an actor for every role? Do you visualize what the character is going to look like, and you try to look like that character?
Yeah, absolutely. Everything I do is from my experience. You know, I was in Los Angeles, and you know, I picked up a few things. But the one thing I like for me as an actor, because we all have our own craft. I feel like each actor has its own craft. No one's the same. So for me, when I read my character, I envision what he looks like. So I thought when I read the Ethan character, I just already pictured this more short hair, clean cut guy. He's in shape, you know. So I've been like working. I hate to talk about it, but I've been working out a lot more and things like that. And then I just envision him because there's fight scenes in here, and it's an action movie as well. So I got to look the part. So absolutely, every role I take, I wonder what he's gonna look like. Because the lifeguards, I was a lifeguard, so I had the long blonde highlights. So, I feel like not every actor does that, but I like to do it. Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, you can switch up your look every once in a while.
Yeah, you can transform yourself completely. Yeah.
Now, Brian, as a filmmaker, is that something that you like? I mean, do you like when you're?
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. It means they're in the character. You can't ask for anything more than that. That's like that shows they want to be that character and they are that character.
Well, so it was somewhat different for Peekaboo, remember?
Yeah, you was totally different look for that as well.
Because that character was completely different.
Yeah, completely different
than Ethan. So, but I don't want to say, I never talk about other actors, but for me in the Midwest, I do bring the training I had back in my early days. And it's like an artist wants to grow and they take what they learn and they also keep learning, right? So I figured out my thing where I can transform. If I had the means to do so, why not do that? But it's fun for me. I actually like to, sometimes I gain weight or lose weight too. And it's, for me, I feel like I'm doing the character justice if I try to look like what he should look like. So, yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
And by the way, I'm not saying this is required thing, but Bobby, it's pretty awesome that you're here today for the interview with the director and the filmmaker. I and I wish yeah, I understand actors and actors have different schedules, but like I wish there was more actors who were promoting the projects they were for.
Yeah.
And because I mean, at the end of the day, if all these people who are cast and crew are promoting the movie, that's more eyes who are going to get on the movie. And I've seen it in the indie circle. It just seems like it's just the filmmakers who are the ones promoting and the
Yeah,
cast.
that's a regional thing because promote like marketing. I have a brand. I was talking to the other actors yesterday and Brian. I was like, we all have our own brand, and I like to promote myself. I'm with a new agency now, um, so that's good for me. I'm going to get more work in the Midwest, next gen talent, and then. But ask Brian. Like I've been promoting. We've had a promo already. Like us, the main cast had this promo picture already, which has
Hmm.
been doing pretty good. Everyone's kind of like, well, that's pretty cool. So I posted on all my social media. If Brian wants me to do a podcast and promote something, I want to do those things because I'm part of the film. We're all a family and a team. I
Yeah.
think that if you're a well-known actor, which I feel like Ashton, Alyssa, and I are pretty well known in the Michigan Toledo area, why not like help promote the movie if we can? So
Yeah.
Now, is that something that's important to you as well, Brian? That 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 your actors get out there and promote your projects, or is
I
that
mean,
not
you can't, you
necessarily
can't,
required?
you can't ask for anything more than that because that shows not just the dedication, that shows they want to see it succeed because they're in it too. And that's what it comes down to at the end of the day. If you want your film and you want your things done and everybody believes in it, everybody does it. They should do it willingly. And that's why I love Bobby so much because he's all about it. And that's, you can't ask for anything better.
well,
Well,
also I told Brian this. I like to have good relationships with my directors, and there's some projects that I haven't had any relationships with them, and it does affect me as an actor. And I did a movie. I'm not going to say what movie it was, but I didn't promote anything of it because I didn't feel like I had that relationship, and they didn't really care for that. So, but with Brian, he's always made me feel like we had a good relationship, and we could talk about things between him and I. He encourages me as an actor too. He always hypes me up, and I'm like, yeah, I need things like that. I think
Yeah.
validation and recognition is most of us actors are very, I want to say conceited, but we always think about ourselves and our performance. So if your director believes in you, because I believe in the story, and I believe in Brian, I believe in this whole cast, right? So it's easy for me to promote it, like you said. And some actors may not do it, or they choose which ones they want to do. So
Yeah.
all right. I got one last question, and
Okay.
this is for the both of you. Brian, I'm gonna start off with you.
Okay.
What's one thing about Bobby that you're like, boy, I wish I had that. I love that about him that you haven't told him about.
Ooh.
And Bobby, I'm gonna have you answer after him. All right, Brian, you're first.
There's one thing about Bobby that I really like about him.
he did say I was good looking yesterday.
I
Storm.
mean, he is good. He is a handsome man. I ain't gonna lie. I have to say, ooh, I'm kind of torn between two things.
Say both.
Say both.
I'll just do both then. One is not just Bobby's personality, his mindset on things in life a lot. He he has a good way of thinking about things that some people don't, and it helps bring perspective to what you're trying to do, and it really helps. So having Bobby around really like you said, being the hype man, he's just like, come on, man, we'll do it. We're just gonna do it. Let's go. And it's like, all right, dude, yeah, we need more of that. So that's one thing I really do appreciate about him, and I like about him. And another one I have to say is
He's such a good actor.
Hey, I mean, that doesn't need to be said. So God, oh man, I like. No, the second one I'd have to say, yeah. The second part would be his ability to take people and lift them up with him. That's another personality trait, but that's something else I really like about him because if you're feeling down, he can help you feel better. If you have any, doubts of anything, he can make you feel better. He's this another driving force type of person that to be in a film is a good person because if you're doing things by yourself, it gets overwhelming and it gets, you kind of just want to say, goodbye world, I'm going to go lay in my blanket for the next month, but you can't do that. So things feel overwhelming. Bobby's there and he keeps the momentum going. Yeah. Those two, I'd have to say that those are two things I really love about him.
All right, Bobby, now you have to give two things.
Two things about Brian. I first off, I think I like that he's open to collabing and working with his actors. He's very he's a hard worker, so I feel like his work ethic and his relationship, his personality is very inviting. So it makes you want to work with him and do your best. So if he believes in me and he just his demeanor about things too, and he cares a lot about this project. This is his film, right? But I do too. I care about him and this film. So to me, the one thing I like about Brian is he's easygoing, and you can talk to him about things, and he believes in things as well. And like he said, there's times where I'm sure he's got a lot going on, and my job as an actor isn't just to learn the lines and perform. It's to make sure like I'm doing my part, and I'm just the type of guy where like if I feel something's off, I'm gonna say something, and we're gonna get back on track because I'm always locked in. I'm already prepping for this, so I know things happen. We're all human, but I think Brian is a very good human, and he's not perfect. I'm not perfect, but at the end of the day, I know I trust him to get things done and to talk to him about things as well. Secondly, I feel like another thing I like about Brian is he never gets upset. Like if you want to change something or add something, or just be like, I'm not happy about something. He's always like his demeanor is always friendly, and he's got a family too, so we all have something going on, right? So I feel like he's always, when he's about the movie and he's locked in, if his laser focus, then I'm very confident in that. So I think he has a great way of, I don't know, just all around, like, I believe in him. So I think he's a great director, and he's going to showcase it in his first feature film, right? And I'm glad he picked me to be the lead, to be honest, because I wanted to do this. And
I'm happy to have you, Bobby.
Yeah,
for real.
But yeah, he's a delight to work with. I've already worked with him, but I think this whole process is longer for a feature film. You got it's pre-production, rehearsals, and things. And he's good with other actors too, so it's like, I think he's meant to do this, and I like that he treats it like his baby, basically. So yeah.
Thank you, Bobby. That means a lot to me.
Love it, guys. I love it. Listen, Bobby, I'm gonna start with you. Where can everyone find you, my friend?
Instagram is Cullen Bobby, and Facebook is Bobby Cullen. Those are my only social medias, and I do promo I've been doing the promo for Endowment, like whatever we have. So for me personally, come follow me and come on the journey with me, and I have other stuff going on too. So you get to, if you want to follow that as well.
Ryan, my friend.
Well, since this is under a new production, everything's under Ice Castle Drive Films. So you can find that on Instagram, Facebook, everything is under that. And I also have the film as a, like a hashtag. I have it as endowment film. So you hashtag endowment film, you can find that, you put that anywhere, and they'll help get that algorithm going for the film as well.
Sweet.
I got a question for Travis.
Shoot, go ahead.
Ooh.
What did you think about the title of endowment? What is? Do you know what that meant, or like what was your first thought?
I knew what it meant, and I want to say our very first interview I did with Brian. He kind of mentioned to me this story about the film, but he didn't tell me what the story was about. I mean, he told me what the story about, but he didn't tell me what the name was.
Yeah, it kind of just came about itself when me and Bobby were talking about it. It just, how about that? And it was like, yeah, perfect. And literally, we didn't need to say anything else more about it. I was like, dude, that was an absolutely perfect name.
Yeah.
Well, the tagline, I like the tagline of the movie because those are important too. What is it?
Some legacies are better left unwatched.
Yeah, I think that's perfect for the movie as well. So
because the more tapes you watch, the deeper you get.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not gonna lie. When I saw Endowment, my mind went straight to dick size first for some reason.
It went everybody.
It went straight to that. I was like, okay, this is a dick movie, I guess. No.
No.
Well, the promo, I got the two girls, my co-stars here, and then not to do this, by the way, Endowment.
Oh my God.
I'm like, man, are people going to think this is like 50 Shades of Grey or something? Endowment? So I'm just like, yeah, Endowment. Yeah.
How you doing? Oh my Lord.
No, it has nothing to do with that. But I feel like everyone thinks that, well endowed or something like that. But if I had to Google it, I told Brian, I was like, I have to Google what this means, and it means like something completely different. So
yeah, when you look it up, it's meant to like you get a gift from somebody. And
something passed down, yeah.
Yeah, it literally, the title literally is the film. So that's why it's so hard to, like, if I were to change it, it's hard to describe it in one word. Because what he gets is this dark legacy, so.
Also, if chicks watch it, they might think some...
They might be like, hey, what's Endowment about?
Yeah, what is this? It has nothing to do with what I thought, but no.
It's still a good film, yeah.
But we were talking about it yesterday, actually. There's no film out there called Endowment, so that's kind of cool.
Really?
No, right. None at all. Not on IMDb anywhere. So it kind of just, like, fell perfectly because, there's a name for everything, so.
I know.
Well, I'm pretty sure that there's no X-rated film with that title. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't look up the X-rated one.
No, I haven't looked up that, no. Or somebody might one day, take this film and try to make one out of it, you never know. I mean, that'd be like, that'd be an ego rush right there. Like, wow, thanks, man. Like, I'm up there with, like, the Lord of the Rings, huh?
By the way, everyone, listen, everybody who's watching this channel, so I don't know if most people know, but there's a little thing that's over on the right that never says subscribe and so forth, and it's called Super Chat, right? And that's where you can donate money to the channel. A portion of any Super Chats from this interview will be going straight to the Indiegogo for Endowment. So go ahead
thank you, Travis.
You can help out the channel, and you can also help out this awesome Indiegogo. And plus, the Horror Room also is going to be donating to the Endowment.
Thank you so much, Travis.
I always do. Listen, guys, this has been fun, man.
Absolutely. Always fun. Always fun to be here. Always happy to be here.
Yes. Listen, I love you guys. You guys are more welcome to come on anytime. And listen, guys, please support this Indiegogo. And by the way, Peekaboo, what is that somewhere where people can find? Is it streaming somewhere or?
No, I still have it on YouTube.
Oh, it's on YouTube. Okay.
Yeah, it was shown at a film festival.
Yeah, it actually was shown at a film festival.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we saw people's reactions in the theater, and they were pretty freaked out, and I was like, oh my God, I didn't think people were actually going to be that affected by it. Hopefully I don't ever have to play that character again, but
yes.
Yeah. It was
a little gritty, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. I want to test myself as an actor. That's why I was like, you know what? Let's try it out. And but I feel like this character Ethan is just, it's like my ultimate dream to play someone like this. So without giving anything away, I just feel like this character is just he's
You
so
can let a little-
versatile. Yeah,
You
he's
can let a
very
little slip out. Go ahead, Bob. You can let a little slip out. I won't be mad.
well, okay, so like Ethan is basically this innocent kid or like young man, and then once he uncovers things, some legacies are better left unwatched, right? So he sees these things, finds out more about his dad, and then there's other characters that come in, and then he's going through this whole realization that his whole life was a lie. So he starts to get tougher and darken up, and then he does have to. He goes on to fight. He's got to take down the villain of the movie eventually. So he basically just this normal guy. His dad died, and then all of a sudden he's thrust into this underworld of trafficking and just stuff that he didn't like. What is going on?
Yeah.
So he gets to transform during the movie, and for me, I'm like, they don't write characters like this anymore, and there's not a lot of feature films in the Midwest that, especially like this one, right? So I feel like people are just gonna be blown away by this whole thing, and the acting. Like these other actors on this, I mean, the villain Tyler, he's gonna be so good. He's in LA right now, you know. He was on Netflix. He's a great actor, so he just fits the part. So I can't wait to actually like dive in deeper. And I'm still figuring out my character a little bit though too. I'm not gonna lie. So, but yeah,
Listen, I'm excited, guys. I'm excited because you know I was a huge fan of Peekaboo. By the way, I think you can still watch Peekaboo on my channel too. You can watch a
you
live
can because
reaction to Q&A.
I showed some of the podcasts and I was like, oh yeah, the live stream. You can watch the whole thing on your channel
Yeah.
on the horror room.
Yes, sir.
So you can definitely still watch that, and you can watch that at the end of the video. There'll be a little box you can click on that. All right, listen, everyone. Thank you for coming to the horror room. I'm Travis Bruce. That's Brian and Bobby. We'll see you next time.
See you, Travis.
Take care.